Most people think if they want to play fast on the piano that they have to, well, practice faster. But actually, that's exactly what's slowing them down. You're never going to play fast until you master slow. I teach a lot of adult students who are short on time, and almost every one of them makes this mistake somewhere along the line. They think that speed comes from repetition. However, repetition without precision just trains your fingers to repeat the same errors, only faster. So, really, the secret is to go slow until it feels almost uncomfortable. So, let's take a look at a piece here that I have in my level 1 book. It's called The Hunt, originally written by Cornelius Gurlitt back in the 1800s. He knew what he was doing. And it's a fun piece, and when you get it up to speed, it is definitely meant to go fast. It is meant to sound something like kind of like that. Now, I was being a little bit on the loose side, just going that quickly, but it's meant to sound like The Hunt. It really gives that impression. However, if you're learning to do this, playing it fast like that is not going to help you. There's a lot you have to think about. For one thing, your hands are stretched out. They're going to be in a position that is maybe not entirely comfortable for you, especially if you haven't played with an extended hand position before. So if we look at the beginning here, we are stretching from 1 on G to 3 on C, basically. So there's this stretch in the hand. We kind of have that going on. Now, the other thing that's going to be really easy to miss in here is the fact that we have a quarter rest every so often. And if we don't put that in, we're really not going to sound that good. In fact, I wasn't doing a very good job of putting it in a minute ago. So what you have to do, you're going to have to think 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. You need to do that slowly. In fact, so slowly that it feels positively ridiculous. But what you're doing is you're giving your mind time to think about all of the details. A lot of times students put pressure on themselves. They see a fast song and they think, oh, I've got to play it fast right now. No, you don't. That's actually not true. And you really want to do things in slow motion because you're basically programming muscle memory, and you're doing it at a speed that your brain can actually process. In fact, you can think of it like typing. If you practice typing fast with typos, you just get faster at making typos. But if you slow down, your brain wires accuracy, and then the speed naturally follows. So I am going to try to do this as though I were a student who maybe is putting that pressure on myself, and I'm maybe going to try to make some mistakes here on purpose. So I won't go full speed, but I will go like someone who is trying to push this. And now I'm purposely flubbing, but you can hear the wrong notes. You can hear the missing measure, or not measure, but the rests in there. Now, if I take this and I slow it down, like I was showing you a minute ago, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and so on. You're giving yourself time to think. Now, when you've done that enough times and you've programmed that in, then you can gradually bring the speed up, and your brain remembers the right things. And when you play fast, for instance like this, and so on, you can play in a way that you have all your notes correct, your timing is on, and you're fast. These are the types of things that I teach in my online courses. And if you want to get started with piano today, just drop in the comments below. You can say piano, and I will send you a copy or a link to get over to my free course. You can also just click on the link, and that will take you there as well. So if it's something you've always wanted to do, go ahead and check that out. Basically, what I tell my adult students is to use your metronome and set this way slower than feels comfortable. Focus on tone, motion, timing, but not speed. And then when you have it really good, basically perfect at slow tempo, then increase it by maybe 2 or 3 beats per minute, just a few clicks up the metronome. See if you can maintain that accuracy. Bump it up a few more. At some point, you're going to find your breaking point, and that's where you need to slow back down. Another thing I recommend my students do is what I call the Oreo method of practicing. And an Oreo is like a sandwich, right? You've got the outer layer, you've got the frosting in the middle, and you have the other outer layer. Well, when you start practicing a song in order to make it go up to tempo and maintain your accuracy, what I recommend students do is they play their piece 3 times in a row. The first time they play it, play everything slowly, just like we've been talking about, get very, very accurate. The second time, go ahead and push that speed a little bit. Don't worry too much if you make a mistake. Just try to keep going and see how well you handle the slightly faster tempo. Now, notice I didn't say all the way up to performance tempo. Just build it up to maybe a tempo that feels like a little bit of a challenge. Okay, see how that went. But then most importantly, cap that off with a third playthrough where you go back to the slow tempo. Because remember, we don't want to instill mistakes. We want to instill accuracy. Then when you come back and you do this again the next day, use that same Oreo method, you're going to be able to bump your speed up a little bit further the next time. And if you do this over a period of several days, you will build your way up to performance tempo without losing any of your accuracy. So the next time you feel stuck trying to play faster, stop, breathe, slow things way down. Speed is never the goal. It's the byproduct of control. So if this makes sense, check out my channel for more behind-the-scenes lessons like this. They're all designed for busy adults who want to learn piano the smart way.